All right, all right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. That's right. Notary law time. That's right. It's time to get into some notary laws. Virginia primer, all tabbed out. Nice. Yeah, we got a whole lot we gonna go through tonight. Oh yeah, yeah. So we gonna be here for a minute. No, not really, not really. But look, first I want to say thanks to every single one of you for tuning in, coming here. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing the videos out. It's very, very much appreciated. In this day and age, with so much that's on YouTube that y'all could be looking at, y'all took time out to look at me here, so I really do appreciate it. Really, really do. So I'm not going to be on here too long. Notice I didn't say too long. When I say too long, that means I'm gonna be on here long. But I'm not going to be on here long. Just want to give a brief overview of about notary laws, things that y'all need to be aware of, things y'all need to be thinking about as a notary. If you're a brand new notary or somebody interested in getting into it, you need to know that knowing your laws is very important, because when you become a notary, you take an oath, and with that oath, you're saying that you're going to uphold the laws, the Constitution of Virginia, the Constitution of the United States. You're going to do what is right in accordance with the laws of your state. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't talk about that when they talk about training notaries. They don't really focus on that. Even if you do some of your face-to-face stuff in the state, it's really up to you to take time out to read the books, learn what they're saying, and apply them accordingly. Unfortunately, for some of you in your state, you don't have any kind of notary training. The laws are very vague. Where to find them are very vague. And a lot of people just, and I hate to use this word, but just being lazy and not figuring out on their own where to go to get the necessary information for their state. You know, the notary laws are out there. It can be hidden, but you got to still do your due diligence, because ignorance is no excuse for you not knowing what your state laws are as a notary. Bottom line. So if you are a new notary, one of the things you need to do is, in my opinion, and others will say different, okay, but in my opinion, if your state doesn't have a whole lot of solid training, a lot of resources, the NNA is a good resource. The National Notary Association. They are a very, very good resource. That's a place that you can go to get information from. No notary trainer out there is going to have as much information or as comprehensive information about what you can do as a notary for your individual state as the NNA. Most notary trainers don't even deal with what you're doing in your state outside of Laura Brewer for Coach Me Laura. And in a little bit, I'll probably just type up there. I forgot to do all of that, so y'all can see the different stuff. Or at least I'll put the links in the description below. So one of the things that, one of the first things that, if you're trying to become a signing agent, meaning to do the loan closings, and just understanding notary, what a notary is, the NNA is the best place to go, in my opinion. Other places, other people will tell you certain things. You also have the American Society of Notaries, I believe that one's called. You can also check them out. I have not looked at anything on their site, so I can't really tell you what they have, okay? But they are a good resource. Also, from what I've heard from other notaries, they say they've gotten some great information off of there. Which one is better? I have no idea, because I never took time out to try to figure that out. And I don't think I ever will, you know, because it's all subjective when it comes to that aspect of it. But as this here says, how to become a notary signing agent, it goes over all of those various different things, talks about, it says many state laws do not address additional qualification or requirements for notaries who work as notary signing agent. However, companies in the mortgage finance industry do have laws and regulations they must meet in order to do business. So because lenders and title companies, signing companies are held to regulatory standards, they set the bar for notaries they hire. While every company guidelines may vary, the industry strongly recommends taking all of the following steps to increase your chances of getting hired by the widest range of companies. And many of you people who are currently notaries, you probably haven't done a lot of this stuff. Some of you haven't done the NNA exam, haven't taken the loan signing training course, or any of that kind of stuff. So if you haven't done any of that kind of stuff, you probably need to do that. Okay, you really do. But they have this on their site. I'll put the links to it in the description below. Another resource that I like that they have on here is the state restrictions. The restrictions that they tell you some of the basic or the main restrictions that you're going to be faced with within the as a notary signing agent in your area, or just really a notary also, but as a notary signing agent, they let you know some of the state restrictions that you are faced with. Like Minnesota requires a closing agent license. Never heard of that. Virginia doesn't require that. Like it says, New York, certain companies providing assignments to signing professionals may choose only to use licensed attorneys. So you're trying to get work in New York, they might just say, "No, we're going to go with a licensed attorney." South Carolina requires an attorney admitted to the state bar to be involved. South Dakota authorities conflict about whether signing agents can conduct signings without being a notary. So in South Dakota, that's a little up in the air. Texas, we covered this on the channel twice over the last year about the home equity line of credit. It tells you right here, you're doing something in Texas that's a HELOC. There's certain rules and regulations that you need to be aware of. So this is a very, very good site. Section of the site, the NNA, National Notary Association. My favorite, my favorite section here, my favorite section is the U.S. Notary Resource. Okay. This is my favorite section right here. Hold up. I keep saying resource reference. The U.S. Notary reference. This is the favorite part of the site. This is my favorite part because in here you can find out specific laws about each and every state. So whether, like if you click on Florida, it's going to bring up all of the information you need to know about Florida, whether you need a bond, like it says here, seals required, journals required, term of length, of your jurisdiction statewide. And it goes into all the details that you need to know about being a Florida notary. Application process, you name it, jurisdiction, the bond information, like I said, changing the status, notarial acts, lets you know what you can notarize. All of that goes into different details about it, about you being a wedding officiant. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All of that. Vehicle VIN number stuff here, safe deposit box stuff, standard of practice, your personal appearance, your identification. Personal appearance. I'm talking about thinking the way we dress. Personal appearance. A notary public may not notarize a signature on a document if the person whose signature is being notarized does not appear before the notary, either by means of physical presence or by means of audio video technology. And if you do, any notary who violates this subsection is guilty of a civil infraction and punishable by a penalty not exceeding $5,000. So that's what this say. It ain't Griff saying it. This is what they say. Okay, let me zoom that in so y'all can see right there. Any notary public, you get a $5,000 up to not exceeding $5,000, and such violation constitutes malfeasance and a malfeasance in conduct of official duties. It is no defense of civil to the civil infraction, ... A notary public who violates the subsection is with the intent to defraud is guilty of violating Florida statute, all of that kind of stuff. So it tells you everything you need to know. I like this. This is one of my favorite sections of the NNA site, the reference. I go down here, the Virginia chapter and everything. So all the quick facts for Virginia, everything. Bond, not required to have a bond, statewide and worldwide for any document intended to be used in Virginia or by the U.S. government. So I guess that means I could be anywhere in the world, if I understand that correct, that I can be anywhere in the world as long as this here document is going to be used in Virginia or by the U.S. government. That expands my reach and where I can go. So when I travel, I go with my notary stamp when I'm going out of state, because I might run across somebody that needs a document for the U.S. government notarized, as well as for to be used in the state of Virginia, because they might be on vacation too. And Virginia has all the different laws, everything they need to know. Talks about, how old you got to be, everything about non-residents, reappointments. Sorry about scrolling so fast. Jurisdiction. Again, bond not required. Notarial acts, the different things we need to know about notarial acts, truth and affirmation. I said truth and affirmation. Y'all forgive me. I'm tired. Taking acknowledgments, proof, administer oath and affirmations. Those some of the ones. Proof. Let's see here. Standards of practice. Appears in person. Identification. We got to take care. All of that. So they have everything in here that we need to know. I hope it's everything we need to know. But we're not authorized to perform marriages. So we got to mind that gives us the information about immigration restrictions. This here's what I like here. It tells us the main thing is the elements that we need on the 7 items that we need on our traditional information. We need our notarial statement, the date of the notarial act, the location, which is the venue, expiration date, notary signature, registration number, and a photographically reproducible notary stamp, seal, or stamp. So this is very, very good information that we need to know. Gives us the Code of Virginia information, all of that. If there's a particular code for your state, they'll have it. Like this here is the Code of Virginia, and it goes over different things that the notaries need. Forgot to take that down. And then we also, which I referenced and I have saved on my phone, the Code of Virginia website for notaries, or the notary section for the Code of Virginia goes over all of that kind of stuff, talks about the Constitution of Virginia, everything. So there's a lot of great resources out there that the NNA can present to you, or you can send your way so you can get the information you need. Okay. So, oh man. So I just want to go over real quick a few items out of the Virginia primer. Now, of course, you're going to, at this point, some of you be like, well, I'm going to just click this off real. Thank you. Peace out. But still listen to it, because there's some things that's probably applicable to you also. And this here help maybe give some of y'all a clear idea of why I'm so adamant about making sure that we follow our notarial laws, because if you don't follow your notarial laws, it can get you hemmed up. So one of the things for Virginia notaries is identifying the document signer. And it tells us right here, it says plain and simple, that we have a standard of care to make sure that the person who is in front of us is who they're supposed to be. And it says, as stated in law, identity must be established either through the notary's personal knowledge of the signer or the presentation of satisfactory evidence of the signer's identity. and we have a thing called the Code of Virginia, which I showed y'all, and it gives us a reference here. And this here again is the Virginia Primer. And it says, therefore, the following three methods of identification are acceptable, the latter two of which formally constitute satisfactory evidence. And it says the first is the notary's personal knowledge of the signer's identity. And then it has a section here called personal knowledge of identity on page 10. Gives us a breakdown of that. Then it says reliable identifiable documents or ID cards. Got a section that breaks that down. Then it says the oath or affirmation of one person, one personally known credible witness, identifying witness, or two credible identifying witnesses identified by the identifying documents, meaning the credible witnesses have to have credible witness, one, or witnesses, two, have to have the proper ID, just as the signer would have, since they don't have it. You know, the people who are being a credible witness need to have the proper ID. And all of that is explained, you know, in the couple pages in here. And one of the things it also talks about is the types of ID. So for Virginia, it says Virginia driver's license or official non-driver's license ID, driver's license or official non-driver's ID from another state, U.S. passport or card, unexpired foreign passport, certificate of U.S. citizenship, certificate of naturalization, permanent residence card with photograph, and or a U.S. military ID. So those are the 7 things that we can use. I think it's 7. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 7 things that we can use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry, 8. 8 items that we can use as a way to identify the person. And then it even talks about what we can do for assisted living, that as long as the ID that they have is expired within 5 years from the date of use, in other words, it ends in 2020, we got till 2025 that we can use it. 2022, we got till 2027. So it tells us, and then, you know, what we can do. One of the cool parts I like here is specifically lets us know unacceptable identification documents. Any document ID that is not on the list of the acceptable identification may not be used to identify a document signer. Furthermore, identification of such as social security cards, birth certificates, and credit cards can be easily counterfeited and are worthless. Note the word worthless as primary identifying documents. So for Virginia, we can't use any of those as a primary form of identification. If it's not listed in that, if it's not in that list of acceptable forms of ID, we can't use it. So I hear notaries all the time talking about, well, what if they got this? What if they got that? No, if it's not on that list, we can't do it. And I've had conversations with the state, and they said, if it's not on the list, you can't use it. So like Visa, somebody had a Visa. Visa's not on here, can't use it. It's that simple. Now, one of the, no, I'm not going to hop that far yet. So, no, there's nothing in there. All right. All right. Disqualifying interest. This here is about when it talks about the documents, reviewing the documents. It says notaries are appointed by the Commonwealth to be impartial. So we are appointed by the Commonwealth to be impartial, talking about Virginia notaries, okay? We are appointed by the Commonwealth to be impartial, disinterested witnesses whose screening duties help ensure the integrity of important legal and commercial transactions. The lack of impartiality by a notary throws doubt on the integrity and lawfulness of any transaction. A notary must never notarize his or her own signature or notarize in a transaction in which the notary has a financial or beneficial interest. So we have to be impartial. We have to be disinterested witnesses. We're disinterested witnesses, meaning we're witnessing a person signing and executing documents, swearing an oath to something, and we're supposed to be disinterested and impartial, meaning we have no dog in the fight. That's why you have to be mindful about what you say about the documents, or taking on certain roles, saying, well, I'm doing this on behalf of. I know everybody says, and I know people gonna probably tear me up in the comments, and most definitely want to hear what you got to say in the comment section, that, oh, well, Griff, we are representatives of such and such and such. All I know is I got to be impartial and disinterested. Can I share information? Can I represent the company? Yes, I can. Okay, fine, I'm a representative, but I'm still legally bound to do what my state says. Just like it says over here, the unauthorized practice of law. Do not assist others with legal matters. This is what it says in the book. As a ministerial officer, that's what it says in the book here, okay? A non-attorney notary is not permitted to assist other persons in drafting, preparing, selecting, completing, or understanding a document or transaction requiring a notarial act. So, in my opinion, what I take that to mean is any single document or set of documents, meaning a transaction like a loan closing is a transaction. That loan closing has multiple notarial acts in it. And that's a part of the overall transaction. So even if it had just one, I'm not allowed to give any advice or help with the understanding of the documents. So at this point, people probably like thinking real carefully about some of the training they took, especially Virginia notaries who are telling you that you need to make sure that you know and understand the documents. Okay, you can know and understand the documents, but that doesn't give you the right to go and run off at the mouth and helping them understand something that you're putting a notarial acknowledgement on. That's what the state books, that's what the law says here. And this is Code of Virginia 47.1-15. I read it for myself. It says that clearly. It says that in the 47.1, and I go to it in here. And pull it up on the website so y'all can see for yourself. All right, yep, let me pull it up over here so people can see for themselves. Let me zoom in. So it says right here, oops, up here it is. Right here, a non-attorney notary, right here. A non-attorney notary shall not assist another person in drafting, completing, selecting, or understanding a document or transaction requiring a notarial act. This section does not preclude a notary who is duly qualified, trained, or experienced in a particular industry or professional field from selecting, drafting, completing, or advising on a document or certificate related to a matter within that industry or field, or prevent a notary from adding a notarial certificate or electronic notarial certificate on a paper or electronic document at the direction of a principal or lawful authority. So if you have the background and the know-how to be able to advise them, then by the direction of a principal or lawful authority, you can go ahead on and notarize as well as provide the necessary advice. Meaning, if you have a particular like escrow officer license, settlement license, whatever, and you've been given permission to go ahead on and explain or share certain things, then you can. This is why we as notaries got to understand our law. So if I don't have the necessary credentials to be able to say such and such or do certain things, then why am I running my mouth? And that's why in Virginia, we do what is called witness closings, where we're just witnessing the person signing the documents. That is it. That's all we're doing. We're there just to witness them signing the documents. And I'm gonna drop it right there because I could get deep into this. Y'all know that. Y'all know how I am. If y'all want to hear more about this here, really go to Clubhouse and look up Judi Lawrence, Judi Lawrence. We had a Clubhouse about a week ago where I went into the notarial laws, and we had a really good discussion after I gave a presentation for Virginia on Virginia's notarial laws, coming out of the primer. And then of course you have the US primer, which is going to be my next one that I sit down here and give y'all a synopsis of, because I haven't read through this yet. I have it, so I'm gonna read through this here and give y'all some synopsis on that. But the bottom line is simply this: it is very, very important for us to understand our notarial laws. And I just wanted to give you just a quick overview and point some things out. Like I said, the links in the description below, and just encourage you to take the time out to study your notarial laws and learn them. A lot of the people out here are going to be teaching you many, many things, or trying to teach you many things about how to grow your business and all of that, but very few of them have anything to say about you knowing and understanding your laws. A lot of people will say they understand the laws, but they just don't get into that. So therefore, you're going to have about 5,000 people that's going to be willing to teach you everything there is about how to market your business, but very few that's going to help you to understand how to do your business. Okay. Marketing is not doing the business. No, doing the notarial acts is the doing of the business. And that's what you need to know. Okay. If you don't understand that, if you're not willing to put in the time and effort to do it, fine. Just understand that you might mess around and do something wrong that can cost somebody a lot of money, or the ability to, to execute something on behalf of another because you didn't notarize it correctly. And you're not going to get in trouble or lose your commission because you didn't market yourself right or advertise yourself right, unless you're making some kind of unfounded promise, or some kind of breaking some kind of immigration thing. But other than that, we're not talking about it. We're just talking about you marketing, trying to get more business. So if you're not doing something illegal for us, immigration, or making unfounded or unrealistic promises about you notarizing stuff, then marketing is not going to cause you to lose your commission. So I encourage you to take the time out to study this, like this video, share it, let your friends know. Even if you're not a Virginia notary, and I appreciate you stopping in here and looking at it. Think about what you need to know. Go use the resources that are out there with the NNA, and I'm telling you, you're going to be the better for it. And once you get solid in your notarial laws, then you can focus and really take advantage of all the marketing information that you're finding out. Again, what's the point of marketing yourself if you can't do the job? The goal is to be able to do the job that you swore an oath to. You said and volunteered. Okay, you volunteered to do this. Nobody paid you to become a notary. You're getting paid after you become a notary, and because of the service you're providing. But other than that, nobody paid you and say, okay, we're going to make you be a notary and we're going to give you this money. No, you volunteered to do this. You took the oath. Now you need to learn what you're supposed to do so you can be good at it. And when you market yourself, the people will be impressed by you, because all it takes is one time to market. You market to the right customer, but it can also take one time for you to mess that up by you not doing what you're supposed to be doing correctly as a notary. Because after you market yourself and you've been given the opportunity, only thing they want to know is, can you perform? And if you can't perform, then as far as they're concerned, you're trash. And I hate to say it that way, but that's really the truth. If you can't perform, then you're trash. So I'm trying to help you not to be trash. That's why you need to look at the videos. When this video is over, look at the videos, click on those at the end, the great training videos that you can look at and use to help you be a much, much better notary. All right. Well, y'all have a good one. Thanks for your time. Peace.